Spirituality to me is a connection that more than one people can have amongst themselves in trying to achieve one goal. Meaning that, to me, spirituality is unity. Once you get into spirituality, it means you are getting connected into something and you are united with another source or with another power. I can see it as unity spiritually because of the connection that happens through spirituality.
Okay.
Yes. Music and spirituality are so connected, and music for an African person is a form of healing. Also, music gives hope to an African person in times of hardship. During slavery, they used to hum just to keep themselves going on, and also trying to forget the bad past. And also, it could also be channeled through dancing. It can also be channeled through drumming. And these are the different types of elements that connects within a spirituality. And these are the elements that heal a black person when times are really challenging. So I really don't see it as a voodoo or witchcraft, but I see it as a medium to be able to be hopeful about future and also to heal yourself so that we can move forward. Yes, it's a language of hope, it's a language of new beginnings. It's a language that black people or African people use to overcome and also to repel the bad energies so that they can be able to be a better people for future. Yes, I would say that because first of all, I have to dig deep inside of me to be able to connect with the person that is next to me. So when I close my eyes, I'm actually singing this song to the core of my soul so that I can be able to connect with other souls that are around me, even including the audience. Sometimes, you know, you connect with the audience through the same medium. When I close my eyes, it means I really want to let go and start afresh, something that is new in terms of imagination, in terms of creativity, in terms of understanding the space and the energy that you are working on. I would say I always do it, even though sometimes I play with musicians maybe from Europe, and also I played with some from the States, black and white. But I mean, America has got its own spiritual energy, but I'm talking about African energy that I'm using to connect with other energies. So I always use the same way because I trust in it that if I don't do that, then maybe I'll be even robbing myself of something good, you know, something that can heal me and can heal others too. So by always digging deep inside of me, I'm giving at the same time I'm receiving so that I can be renewed. You know, it's so beautiful sometimes when you leave the stage, you feel renewed, you know, you feel empowered after a very good concert because of that connection that happens during the performance. In the past years, I've discovered that actually drums are the ones that evoke the spiritual aspect of a person. You know, there's videos of Ghanaian spiritual masters whereby in the ceremony there's not even a song, there's just drumming and magic happens through only drumming. And you'll find that even the drummers, they will go pray for the skin before they actually make their own drums. Like, it's very personal because they understand the power that the drum has when we talk spirituality, because everything happens around the drum. So I've learned this instrument is so powerful. Then I can use it even to control the energy and the sequence of the band. You know, how the movement, you know, where do we go from now? How do we get to that one? Sometimes it's really controlled by the drums, the way you hit them, the way you crash the cymbals. Now I've been really studying this power. Like, how much power can this take You know, sometimes I will play, then I will go really, really high, but I really, like, I have to keep on playing to this drum, even if it's one thing, just the sound of drum. It takes me to the top. When I got first introduced to the drums, it was in a jazz setup, like as you say, the Western kind of approach to drumming. But we also had Amagqirha opposite my house, Zangoma, and also just up the road from my house we had the Zion people, also they were using the drum, and it was just the drum, hand clap and dance. But I never thought this is how the drums are supposed to be played, because I was always focused that, okay, I have to learn the melody, jazz tune, the blues, and all these kind of forms. I forgot the drums. I just focused on the music as a whole, like as in a band situation. But then I'm growing up and I'm thinking about the drums and the power that they really command in music. Then I got introduced to these African drummers, from Ghana especially, you know, where they do voodoo. Sometimes it can be fetish, but it's very powerful, and it all comes from the drum. So now I had a different approach when I say drums, because now I understand the power that they actually carry in terms of spirituality. When you create, sometimes there's a level where you cannot go beyond. But then, since I've understood this knowledge about drums, sometimes it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes in a concert, I will really play the drums up until I break to what was holding me. And hence I'm saying sometimes I'll really go home being lifted and content. Sometimes I don't even want to talk to people. I want to go home because the drums have given me something that I never had before, which is whereby my spirit goes to the mode of infinity, whereby, you know, we could play the whole night just because there's that sound that is carrying your soul. If you don't understand that kind of information, you will play for 20 minutes and literally will get tired. But they can just do it. I mean, even old go-go's, you know, they will do this the whole night. And you'll wonder, how do they do it? But sometimes when you look at them, then you'll understand how they do it, because the drum is feeding them. And they're feeding the drum. The drum is like, the process is going like this, and it's never ending. You know, up until you play the last beats, and then you stop, and then you carry on alone without the drum. That's what drums do to me. It is African. I know my masters like Mr. John Coltrane, Elvin Jones and them, they did come to Africa to study drums, to understand the drumming, just the drumming, because the drumming carries the music. It gives the rhythm, it gives the pulse, it gives the dance, and it gives the song on the drumming. So they understood this thing, and they also came to Africa to study this kind of approach towards music. So I believe, and I mean, I know even for myself that drums are African, and music came from Africa first because of drums. As we just mentioned, the background issue with a lot of cats that are coming out now, mine is different because I didn't study music like most of people that have studied. I grew up playing music from home as a young child, and then I only went to university because I finished my matric, but I was already playing. I had many years being a band member at the time. Maybe I had 10 years already before university, and the approach for me to play drums was that there should be everyone. There should be music for, so that we can all play and make a song together. I never knew that to sit alone for 2 hours. They say you practice paradiddles, for instance, or double stroke, like technical stuff. So my approach to drums is that there should be music, or also drums make music. It's not just an instrument to create a beat or a rhythm. It's actually the instrument that creates music in the band. So that has been my approach. I remember when I came to Joburg, they used to say, this guy sometimes doesn't hear right, because I will play roles that are not within the measure, for instance. You know, because it's how I'm feeling. It's a reaction. I'm only reacting to the way I'm feeling. So I'm not counting because the music is already running through me. So I don't have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. I can just play anything because there's a continuation. It's actually a continuation. This is how I see it. That. Yeah, because I'm starting again. I'm from beginning to explore this aspect of spirituality with the drums, the power that they actually have. You know, it's fascinating. First of all, I look for the musicians that I've played with before, because it's easy to have a synergy with someone that you know when he plays that note, this is how you come for him, so that you know you can come back to the second note. Somehow you can sing a phrase. If someone plays like Mr. Mavundla plays one note, but he is playing a phrase of 10 notes, you can anticipate the next 7 notes because we've been playing with him for such a long time. So I look for musicians that I know if I play like this, they'll be able to complement what I'm doing. And also if they play like that, I'll be able also to take the idea forward. So that's how I choose musicians to play with. I'm an elder, so that you have guidance. Because from him, you learn how we walk the road, you know. Me, I was fortunate to have Babu Tex Ndoluka, Babu Teten Bambisa, and all these old Grootman back in the day, because they don't compromise. They are not your teachers. They are just your parents or your grandparents, and they look after you as if they are looking after their own child, but not as student-teacher kind of situation. So I would advise new drummers or young drummers to really look for someone who's old, even if they play a different instrument from what they're playing, so that they can learn how to respect music and how to play music.
Besides yourself, who is the hottest drummer that inspires you?
I'm friends with all the drummers, for instance, young and old. They're very different, all of them, and I think they all have a voice which is interesting. That I also don't have, for instance, you know, Zm Ngqawana, he's got his own signature style from Louis Moholo, Edwin Jones, and all other drummers. Yeah, I think they're all beautiful.